Facebook and folks and peoples and everybody. Let me see who I'm saying hi to.
Do we want our background on? No or yes?
No, because then it's going to make you disappear.
Oh, we don't want that.
So can y'all hear us good? I hope so. So hi. Let me say hi to Daniel, Hillman, Grendel. Hi, Grendel. It's been a long time. Tabitha, Chad, Mr. Lee. Hey, Mr. Lee. Hi, Deborah.
It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. And Spencer, we're excited to see you all and be back here again. We have an amazing guest that I promise you it's going to be a great time, because anytime we're hanging out with her, it is a great time. So, who am I? Well, I am Collette Portis. I am the CEO of Red Development Group, and my amazing co-host is...
And I am Reggie Stearns-Kemp, CEO, and we are so delighted to be here on Tuesday.
We are. We're always excited about this on Tuesday.
But today is something special.
Today is something special. We're always excited. I think we're more excited when we have guests than when it's just...
Especially today. Well, you know what? The last 2 times was the last 3 times, such a woman empowerment moment.
Listen, that does not mean, fellas, we're leaving you out. We're not. No. We're just saying we've had some pretty phenomenal ladies, who follow through. Because, when we send our guys and stuff, we got to follow up with them a couple times to get them to come on with the come on.
Call them and tell them to email.
There you go. I'm just saying. Let's just get it together. Let's get it together. That's all we asking for. So, who is Red Development Group? Red Development Group is a global business development firm that was created for you. It was created out of a space where we had a need.
Yes.
And we came together and met each other and realized that, you know what, we could be the solution to the need that we had, because we had the tools, and so we brought them all together. And now we have Red Development Group, which is where we help business owners grow, become sustainable, build their legacies, help them understand what that even means, and define that for themselves. And we have a 3-step process that we use. We start out by evaluating the business, then we plan for success, and then we execute.
Yes.
So guess what the word of the day is today?
What is the word of the day?
Today's theme is execute.
I'm glad you asked.
I'm so glad you asked.
Right.
I was anxiously waiting.
Yeah. And life is so much easier when you plan before you execute, because then you're just not aiming in the dark. And I think, when you talked about how Red Development came together, we came together with a system and a process. Well, we came together and we perfected a system and a process that makes a difference in the lives of entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. And we've been on purpose about that. We are still on purpose about that. And we are very intentional about how we help our business owners. And you all know, like we know right now, it is absolutely pertinent that we help our business owners not just survive, but thrive for real. And I know you've heard that so much lately. It's becoming the buzzword, but we really mean it. And we have a system and processes in place in order to make that happen. So,
and the funny thing about it, I remember there's always these little terms, and for a long time people say, "Yeah, I was grinding today." Well, what does define that to me? And so when I think about what we went through just to develop some of the things, I mean, when I think about grinding, that's what
we were grinding it out. We still grind daily. But the grind is a planned, strategic grind, so that we actually get to some results once we execute the plan. See how I brought that back?
Yeah, we both said results, right? Yeah.
So let me tell you about execution. So execution, the carrying out or putting into effect of a plan, order, or course of action.
Yeah.
So does that mean that if you don't have a plan, an order, or a course of action that you actually aren't executing?
I would say not.
Well, because what are you then executing?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what we mentioned before. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
Course
one
of
of the things
action.
that we know for sure is if you're going to survive something like this, then you most certainly need to have a plan. What is your plan? First off, where are you going? What are you doing?
And so, in all fairness, too, just for some companies may fail because it's just simply time to fail. Sometimes it's just time to regroup and maybe come up with another options, whatever. So we get that every company will not survive through this, but for those who can, there is a way that you can do it and really survive and then thrive in it.
Yeah, I'm actually going to be speaking on a panel soon, and the topic is how did we pivot?
Yeah.
What did we do in order to pivot during this time, and why aren't we freaked out? That was really the question that I was asked, like, Collette, why aren't y'all freaked out? And I'm like, we're not freaked out because we have a plan. And because we have that plan, we're able to evaluate the plan and then execute whatever changes we made so that we were still successful.
Right. And another thing I think we should do is have some of the clients that we coach on here. Because it's one thing for us to say it, but it's another thing for people to interact and see people who are actually operating off of a plan and see how they feel about it.
So maybe we do a panel and we bring on a couple of them and just have a conversation about how they pivoted during these times and how important their plan has been to them. Oh, good ideas. Yeah. I wish I had a light bulb.
I think that would be good.
So we've got an amazing guest today. I promise you're going to have a good time. I always have a good time when I'm hanging out with her. So I just want y'all to know that it's going to be a good time today. It'll probably be some good laughs and all of that kind of stuff. But did you guys know that 17% of businesses fail because they have a product without a business model? What exactly is a business model? I know you hear people say that all the time. You need to have a sound business model. You need to have a good business model. Well, that is how you plan to take this product or service and monetize it.
Right.
And it can't just be, I'm just going to, post on social media every day. You got to actually have a plan. But how do you not only monetize it, but how do you expand on your revenue streams? How do you increase the revenue streams attached to that product or service? So, yeah.
There's a whole process for that.
17% fails for that one reason. Yeah.
I get it.
So, let me see. What time is it? We don't know. We have no idea what time.
But I am going to say hi to my friend Cynthia Williamson. She's
hi,
watching.
Cynthia.
And so now I'm going to check the time. Let's see what time it is. 6:07.
Okay.
So Debbie's coming into the room soon.
Let me tell y'all something. We've been on it today. Like, we've been on it so much that we we had to have forgotten something. Because we've been on it for real on this day. So I was going to tell you guys something else.
About Debbie?
No.
So we have, in September, we want to talk about some of the classes that are coming up or something that the workforce is doing?
Yes. Listen, you guys need to, if you are a business owner, I don't care how long you've been in business. If you are a business owner, that lives in Arlington or has your business in Arlington, Texas or Fort Worth, Texas, and you need help, you need to be paying real close attention to our social media feeds, because something is coming up pretty soon that is going to give you what you need. And so pay attention, watch out for the information, because once we put the information out there, it's going to be a very small group.
Yes.
But once we put the information out there, who gets it first. And then it's also an application process, so you need to be prepared for that. And we'll give more details about that at some point. But if you need help, with your business. Doesn't matter how long you've been in business. What matters is that you live in Arlington or you live in Fort Worth, or your business is in Arlington or Fort Worth. Then we have something coming up that is going to be so amazing. I'm so excited about it, Reggie. Oh my God, because what's going to happen over the next year is going to be life changing,
right,
world changing. Yeah.
right.
So I was reading an article today by Harvard Business Review. They've done a study, and they did a study on they surveyed business coaches. Yeah, it was really, really interesting. They surveyed business coaches about our industry. And one of the things, one of the gaps that they found, so really they were writing the articles to figure out whether or not coaching is relevant. Do you even need it? Why do you need it? Why is it important or not important? Was really what they were trying to find. And what they found is the same thing that Forbes has found, is the same thing that Inc. magazine has found, is the same thing Enterprise magazine has found. All of them have found that business coaches are significant to the growth of a business and in the business's leadership. Sorry, guys and gals, gotta plug this laptop in.
You know, I agree with that totally, because most times when people who've called me, they've called because they've been in a certain stage of their business and they needed help growing. Whenever you have not been somewhere before, you need someone that has been there before you to help coach you. Whatever that industry or thing, profession, athletic endeavor, sometimes you need someone who has done it before you to lead you.
Well, absolutely. And one of the points that one of the ladies that they interviewed made was, she brought up Tiger Woods. And she said Tiger Woods is probably the best golfer to ever golf. You know, but he still had not just one coach, he had multiple coaches. And so the point she was making with that is coaches are very relevant. However, the issue in the industry, which is why everybody keeps asking this question as to whether or not coaching is relevant, is because they have no process, they have no system, and they have no way of giving you sound data to show your growth and what impact they've made on your business, except for making me feel better. They have no real data. Well, I read that and I was pretty proud of us. Because one of the things that causes people to connect with us, one of the reasons why large organizations and large banks and things like that connect with us, because we have that. We have a process, we have a system that we use, we have data collection, we are monitoring and tracking the execution of whatever we've helped this business to do, to build, because we are coaches. And you guys have probably heard me say before that the difference between a coach and a consultant is the word coach. Coach is what it is. It doesn't matter if it's basketball or football or business. We are in the game, on the sideline, yelling and calling plays. That's what we do. Right?
That's right.
So I thought that was a really interesting article by Harvard Business Review, and I'll probably go ahead and have it posted on our social media page.
I think you should.
Yeah, it was really interesting.
And then another part of it is, after you're coach, you still got to get out there and get on court, right? The coach didn't do the coaching.
The coach did not dribble the basketball. Right. Somebody got to dribble. Somebody got to block shots. Somebody got to shoot threes. You know, somebody got to shoot, you know, kick the ball, whatever sport we're in. Somebody's got to do that. But then the other piece is having the key players on your team, because everybody can't be a point guard. How do you play a game where everybody is the point guard? everybody is the quarterback. Well, who gonna run the ball?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So everybody can't be the goalie.
Right.
You have to. Look at that. You see what she did?
Right. Yeah,
she did it.
You set it up. Okay.
We're sorry. We digress. Everybody can't be the goalie in the game. So how do you even set up a team? And so we are going to talk about that one of these upcoming weeks, about how do you build your A team? How do you build your starting lineup? How do you know what your starting lineup needs? Because let me tell you something. Them good Cowboys, they not hiring everybody that can do what Dez Bryant does.
Right.
They're not doing that because they got Dez Bryant. They don't need 57 of them.
Right.
Right? They're hiring different people to play different positions, and some of those people playing those positions are called backups.
Right. And you don't try to figure out what you need the day of the interview. You determine what you need in the person for that particular position way before you interview. Because if you don't, you will be in a desperate mode. And because they walk through the door and they are a warm body and you need someone to fill the position, you will hire them and they will not have 15% of the qualities or the skills or experience that they need. So please.
And guess what? The game is started. The clock is running.
Yeah.
You ain't got no time else to waste on figuring out whether or not this person is right for the team. Nobody does that. Nobody does that.
You're going to spend a lot of money.
You're going to spend,
a lot of money and time that's going to delay your process, whether it be creating new products, services, whatever it is. And plus, it can cause problems within the team.
Yes, and yes. I was reading another article. For those of you who don't know, yes, I'm a nerd. Proud to be, just saying. I was reading another article, and it was talking about hiring. And they were talking about how the cost, y'all do know that it costs you to hire somebody, right? The cost to hire an employee. Just to get them there and say, you now work for us. Used to be about $6,000. It is now upwards of $10,000 to hire an employee.
And so imagine if that's not a good hire.
How many of them you got to waste?
And then there's another thing. You could have the employees, but are they in the right seat? Are they doing the right job? It could be that you need to have a little check to see if, okay, let me make sure I understand everybody's skills and abilities. And it could be that you need to play musical chairs with some of the people, and it's okay.
Absolutely. Okay. We just did that with our interns.
We did. We sure did.
Yeah. And we brought them in and we said, listen, if you're in a chair you don't like, tell us. We'll find a new chair for you. And we did. And they're absolutely thriving in their new seats. And the work they're producing, y'all have heard me brag every week about Red Force. But I mean, how do you even up the game when you're already doing amazing stuff?
Right. And so when you're in your right place, in your right seat, in your right position, you operate to your optimal potential.
You did that, Reggie.
It is just the truth.
Okay. So
wait, there's one other thing.
Tell me.
So Red Tips is going to start back season 2.
Yes.
October 1.
Yes.
The Monday, I don't even know what October 1 is, but the 1st of October.
Yeah, whatever that
Monday and Thursday, 1st of October.
First Monday in October.
And if I tell you there's going to be something new.
Yeah.
You may not see my face every Monday and Thursday, but that's okay with me.
But it's going to be so good. And you are going to learn so much stuff. We've learned so much stuff that we didn't know. That just knocked our socks off. So.
Again, from the Red Force, our interns.
Yeah.
Everybody sometimes is concerned about the millennials, but they will bring a spice of life to your organization if you allow them to operate in their greatness.
Yes. Yeah. And it's been amazing having them. So with that, we're going to bring on our very amazing, very awesome guest. Because she's awesome, and we think that you're going to think that she's awesome too. And while we wait for Debbie to get in here and show us her pretty face, hi, Debbie.
I was on Facebook with you.
We love it. We love it.
So, Debbie.
Watching Reggie and Collette right here, my friends. How are you?
We're good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for coming to hang out with us.
Are you kidding? Of course. I love it.
Yeah.
What better way to spend a Tuesday evening? Of course, I had to remember what day it was, but awesome.
So you have to tell us about that 30 school thing, but we'll get there.
Yes. Yes. So Debbie Saviano, one of the co-founders of the amazing Women's Leadership Live. Oh my God. I had such a great time at your event. And then the pandemic happened. What the, you know?
Exactly. What the? We were doing our magazine, as you know, Collette. We were
I love it.
Oh my gosh. We got in Texas in the first week, Stacy and Linda and I, and then Monday through Thursday, as you know, y'all were there, and then Friday COVID hits. It's just like, are you kidding me?
That was just absolutely insane. But it was an amazing time. You ladies did a great job, and I love your magazine. I really do.
Can you show that to us one more time?
Yes, we are very fortunate to be with Jo Packham. She's the creator and editor. She's got 4 magazines. She's been doing this for, I don't know, 20 plus years, but I think this is the 3rd or 4th one we've done with Jo, and it's just such an honor because it's filled with women entrepreneurs, all the things y'all talk about and you help women with every day. That's the women that are in here. So we're very, very honored to have the magazine. Yes, thank you.
Awesome. How can they get that while we're...
Actually, Barnes & Noble just did a reorder, and I don't, you always worry about saying something like this, fact check, but I don't think they've ever really reordered like they have this one, but they just got new stock in every Barnes & Noble in the country.
Very good.
So it's on the shelves at Barnes & Noble. So please, and if when you go buy the magazine, if you would please tag Women's Leadership Live and Red Development Group, that way we can get a conversation started. Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. So for those of you who don't know Miss Debbie Saviano, she is really popular though. But she, like I said, is the co-founder of Women's Leadership Live that I absolutely love. I just love what you guys are doing and what you stand for. But Debbie is also like a social media guru.
Yeah.
That's just, you know how we breathe? That's just what she does. Yes, yes. It's just what, but you know what I love about you, Debbie, and the way you do social media? You are all like, at the end of the day, everything about you is about engagement. And you're not afraid to share what other people have shared with you or comments. And you do a really great job of engaging. And I think a lot of times that's what we miss.
Thank you so much. Well, you know, it's interesting you say that, Collette and Reggie, because I think what happens to us, and I was thinking about this earlier, knowing that we were going to be talking, done a couple other things today as well, but I was thinking about it with social media, and I say this all the time, but physical space should be the same as digital space. And we talk and we engage and we interact, we shake our heads, we smile, we touch, we laugh. Well, we used to touch, we laugh, you know, but that's what we should do on digital space. And so often people forget that that's the beauty of it. Just like y'all, you're sitting there. I've still got on my phone with y'all here. I'm here, we're all together. So we want to talk, we want to engage, we want to interact.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's so important. And I've heard you say that so many times that your digital space should be like your physical space. And I love that because, you know, all of us have had the people try to connect with us on the digital space. And it's so awkward and weird, or you're like a pushy salesperson. It's like, nah, nobody's going to connect with you that way because it's weird. Yeah.
It's that thing nobody wants to be sold to, but we all love to buy. So how do you take that and because it's about relationships, right? It's about getting to know each other, and it's about all those things that we do in physical space. Like I always say, we wouldn't come up to someone and start talking about the stuff we do and say in what we sell. We get to know each other. We build a relationship.
Actually, the comment that you made, and I can't remember how you made it, but what you said about social media helped me to embrace using social media, because although I was commenting, I wasn't showing up and doing the videos and all that. And once I heard your explanation of the purpose of it, it made me embrace it more, because I hadn't had to do it really before.
Right.
And I was a little resistant, still doing it, but still resistant. So that helped me a lot.
Well, thank you, Reggie. That's so sweet. Thank you. Because it is about, there is no competition. Everyone has a certain best thing that they do or sell, and it all goes back to the relationships we have with those people. So why shouldn't we advocate and uplift and champion other women who are doing things that aren't what we're doing? That's what it should be all about. There shouldn't be that feeling of, I can't go out there and support other women.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what our quote is for the day? Normally I
What
say
is
this
it?
to the end, but I mean, you so eloquently moved us into that
Yes.
space. Our quote for today is, there really is enough for everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly.
There's no lack. There is no lack.
That's
There
right.
is I'm a believer that there is abundance, and there is enough, that there's enough for everybody to have an abundance.
Amen. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when they think in scarcity mindset, that's what happens, is scarcity. But
Yeah.
you think in abundance mindset, and that's what is delivered. God delivers. Absolutely.
Absolutely. And then it's like, okay, so if you're holding on to, it's like, I'm a lover of shoes, you know. So, you know, the Lord had a good talk with me one day, and I was like, okay, you're going to need to let some of them go. And I was just like, Jesus, while I get the
maybe not in agreement.
Yeah. I get the obedience and sacrifice, we're going to have a talk about this.
Right.
Hold me up.
But the other piece of it that I learned in that experience is, how do you get more if you won't have space to come into your life? And things, for the most part, aren't for us to have necessarily forever. There's very few things that are for us to have forever. And so I was like, well, that means I get new shoes, of course, you know.
Right.
I need to do a new shoes to go with that outfit. No, you're right. I agree with that, Collette. Absolutely, for sure.
Exactly. And the truth is, I haven't missed them. I've
Right.
replaced them.
No,
though.
she hasn't. But, you know, and everything we're saying, we had a meeting earlier today. We're working on something with the City of Fort Worth Economic Development Department. And so I'm a part of the coordination committee. And everybody on my call today, we're all business coaches to a degree. And we were all in it to win. I mean, we were all in it. No one felt like we were in somebody else's territory. And I can't tell you how rewarding that was. And we feel like we're making progress for those entrepreneurs that are in Tarrant County.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Reggie. And that's the whole point is, I always say you can have 5 social media people or 5 people who do what Stacy and I do with Women's Leadership Live. There's no competition. It's who you need to feel drawn to and what their experiences can help you best. And that's what we should all want that for everyone. Go where you're going to get the best service, not meaning that the best service, but the skills are going to be able to help you the most.
Well, because everybody's not for everybody, and nobody. I have not found one person that does anything the exact same way.
I have one. You want to hear it?
Who?
Yes.
What?
I say, if you've got a pill that I can take tonight and get up tomorrow and lose 30 pounds, baby, I'm buying it. And there's no competition. They're just not out there.
Listen, matter of fact, give me 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a backup.
Yeah.
Just in case I drop this one and it gets lost under the bed or something.
Absolutely. Amen.
No, but that's one of the things that I love about Women's Leadership Live. I mean, I cannot tell people what this experience was with this group of just amazing women from across the country in this one space, and the synergy in the room was just absolutely phenomenal. And synergy is an energy that we oftentimes forget about because we're so consumed with competition.
Yes.
We miss out on an opportunity to create and take advantage of the synergy that we will have with the people who do what we do or similar things that we do.
Well, and that's so true, Collette. Stacy and I always say that there's no accidents, that we all come together for a reason. And you're right, in those rooms when we had the events, I'm thinking about the whole country, from Florida to California to Canada, we had women come together. And thanks to digital space, which is one of the reasons I love it so much, is that those women are all still able to be connected. They're all still there, and they can do what they do, and they can support each other because they all came together. There's no accidents. We are firm believers. God brings us together for a reason. He opens the door. Do we go through it? That's our choice. But he opens the door, and that's what we like to think when Linda and Stacy and I did the events, was that those events were platforms and opportunities for women to come together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's a couple of women that I met from Chicago, and I actually have to travel to Chicago next week. And so
I won't be able to go. So
I'm going to be connected.
Sorry, Reggie.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to make sure that I reconnect with them in some way, because
absolutely,
I'll be there. But you ladies, first of all, so we're talking about women's leadership.
Yes.
We haven't even told the people.
Please tell the people what. Yes.
So what is Women Leadership Live? Let's start with that.
So Women's Leadership Live, Linda and Stacy and I came together, and we basically wanted to help women entrepreneurs. I mean, Linda and Vince had started WWE, and their whole world was small business. Stacy had been on live TV with QVC and HSM with product development. I have been an educator, a principal, and now social media. So at the end of the day, we decided what we wanted to do was help women entrepreneurs, very, very much like what y'all do, because there's oftentimes not a place for women to go. You know, we started out with events, loved our events, but then we jokingly said, you know, Linda got called the White House. So Stacy and I regrouped, and now we do things that are much more, and with the last several months, we've all had to do what we do, and that is digital space. But basically, at the end of the day, we help women entrepreneurs take their products and their services to market, whether that's TV, whether that's digital space, whether it's brick and mortar. That's what we do. We help women take their products and services to market. That's an easy way for it to, you know, to be explained.
I love that, because every week we come on here and we have a new, what we call, once you come on here, you're considered a red champion.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Yes.
I even have red fingernail polish on today.
Oh.
And red glasses.
And red glasses.
That's called supporting women.
Exactly.
That's right.
We wanted to be sure that we expose, because we get the question all the time, like, who does this for you, or who does this for you guys, who does that for you guys? And so this was an opportunity for us to bring on our red champions to say, if we needed this problem solved, this is who we're going to call. So when we have clients that are going to need to bring products and things like that to the market, we're going to call Debbie.
Right. Absolutely. Stacy and I can help with that.
Yeah.
Because again, take it, and the marketplace has changed. I mean, every day we're looking at how people are selling their products. Unfortunately, because of small businesses in Main Street America, we still want to promote those small businesses because they're still out there. So supporting those brick and mortars and to be able to help them take their products. And then the next step is for those to be able to take in the digital space, whether it be, you know, taking it to HSN or taking it to digital space with e-commerce. So we want to help women sell products. That's we all like to shop, right? Buy those shoes and buy those hats and clothes. Yes,
we're the ones with the purse,
right?
We should have to buy something.
We have a really good friend. I mean, all the women we work with, everyone in our community, we consider friends and family. Jenny, who is the official hat maker for the Kentucky Derby. And so she has formed Millinery in Tennessee. And I met Jenny probably 10 years ago at an event in Dallas, and because of digital, we stayed in touch, and she's done the master class with us and different things that we've done, but she is a hat maker. Now think about that. You have to go look her up, F-O-R-M-E, Millinery in Tennessee. She does beautiful work, beautiful work.
I'm sure she does.
So if you need a hat, you want to check her out, seriously.
Yeah, I want one of those good derby hats.
Right.
Those hats be cute.
Well, hopefully we can go to the derby.
Well, there you go. One day. Geez.
Exactly, one day, exactly.
Yes. So tell me, why did you decide to focus on women? Why was that so important for you?
Well, Linda has a daughter and a son. Stacy has 2 daughters. I have a daughter in 5 granddaughters. And so it was kind of just the obvious thing. And we love our men. Stacy calls them enlightened men. So we're about 80% women and 20% men. We have men that we work with. We have men clients, men that we work with. And you probably remember this, Collette, but the men who came to the event came because they wanted to learn how women think.
Yes.
I mean, what a gift. I mean, really, we all need to know how each other thinks. And so we have probably 20% men who are in, that we support and that are part of our program. Yes.
Very good.
And very smart men. So we're women focused as well, but we say all the time that we also, our clients are also the men who champion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And understand that a lot of these organizations are moving to female-led organizations. And if you have a business and you aren't interested in understanding how we function, you're doing yourself a disservice, because this is about just, excluding men. This is about making sure that we get what we need so we can be better for everyone else.
Absolutely. Well, when Stacy and I started this whole dream 7 years ago, Stacy and I, as y'all know, we're like running down the street ready to go. David, her husband, we always like to say he's a Harvard grad and loves the business plans and stuff. He's the one who kind of pulled us back and said, let's get it on paper. Let's do all this, because you're right, Collette, you have to have all aspects to have a successful business. And David's business acumen, as far as business plans and things, he helped us with that. And then we went to Linda just to get ideas, and that's when she said she wanted in. But had we not had that component, because you have to have every skill set in your pillars, you can't just have two. Right. And Stacy and I are both just like, if we want to do something, we're running down the road. We'll figure out where the map is later. And so you have to have someone pull you back just a little bit.
Well, Debbie, you're talking in my wheelhouse now, because I'm everything strategy and planning. And so I absolutely love that. Our theme for the day is execution.
Execution.
How do you execute if you don't have a plan? What are you executing? Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. How do you get to California if you don't know you got to go west? If you go east, you're not going to get there. Absolutely. I tell my kids that all the time. You have to have a plan.
Yes. Right. Yes. I agree with that.
Plan is certainly important, and you got to have the right plan.
Right.
Because if you don't have the right plan, you still won't end up in the right place. Or if you just so happen to end up in the right place, I bet you took a whole lot longer than you needed to.
Absolutely. More time, more energy, more money, everything. And you waste that because you didn't have the right plan. Absolutely. 100%.
So why leadership? Why women leadership live? Why did you guys want to make sure you put leadership in there?
Because I think oftentimes women, that gets left out for them. And when women have successful businesses, right, they can run the world. And and unfortunately, women have not been respected in the same way that men have been in that regard. And so we felt like for women to have that confidence level and to have that security of being leaders in their area. They're leaders in the home, they're leaders at work, they're leaders at church or synagogue, wherever they go. We wanted them to have that same concept when they were doing their business. It's already there. We just wanted to help them polish that up and shine it up a little bit to where it was a natural, where they didn't feel uncomfortable saying that, if that makes sense.
So Debbie, in the information that we gave you, you mentioned that you had been to 30 schools. Why was it important for you to share that with us?
It's such a thing for me, because anyone who has known me over the years, my daddy worked in oil fields. Now, people outside of Texas, that means they think you're rich. No, my daddy worked in oil fields means you're on the rig, right? But we moved constantly. 3 to 4 schools a year was common for me. Well, you had two choices. You either don't adapt or you adapt. Well, I adapted. I can walk into a room and in 5 minutes, I can know people, because I love people. I love the conversations. I love the engagement. And so if you've never done that, it's hard for people to understand from a child's perspective in school. And I have a place in my heart for children and education. And I think it's because God put me through that. It wasn't easy, but I learned how to adapt, and I learned what it felt like to be the new kid in classroom. So in Texas, you have to teach for 4 years before you can be a principal. So I taught 4.5 years. And then the rest of my career, I was a principal at 5 different campuses, K to 12 in different schools. And so I really feel like sometimes people don't take time to understand children. I used to always tell my teachers, Will Smith didn't become Will Smith when he turned 21.
Right.
Will Smith was Will Smith when he was in 2nd grade. So how do you learn to blossom that child? How do you learn to support that child? Or the child who's quiet and reserved? How do you make sure everything you do is to make that child be the very best they can be in life? So yeah, I'm a huge advocate for education for children. I worry desperately right now about children not being in school.
Yeah.
Most of my schools were low SES, which means that they had breakfast and lunch at school, and school was a safe place for them.
Right.
For them not to be in school, when people say they're going to do online learning, they didn't have a computer, much less internet.
Right.
So that all sounds great on paper, but I wrote a thing on LinkedIn. I wrote an article about it recently about my concerns about those children, because suburbia America is not where every child is at. If you're in rural America, or if you're in the inner cities or wherever, how do we meet the need? Can you tell I get passionate about this?
Yeah, you know,
I feel the same way.
yeah, one of the things that we don't realize is our largest population of homeless people in our country is women and children.
Yes, absolutely.
If this child is living in the mission, then what are they doing right now for the purposes of school? You know, when school was their way of getting away.
That was their salvation. That was their way, that for that one day, what they could do. Yeah, absolutely, totally agree.
And now they don't have that in a lot of cases. And you know, the other, which kind of makes that subject a little iffy, because now you have some parents that are like, I absolutely don't want to send my kid to school yet. But then you have those who go, we absolutely need to send our kids to school. And I think there's good stuff on both sides. But when that's who I'm thinking about too, is what about those kids who don't have a home, who use this, whose sanctuary is the school, but they don't have that.
And what do we do in 5 years or 10 years for that child who lost out a year? Because getting it back is almost impossible. And so if we really want a society of Americans where everyone's on equal ground, education is the one platform where they have that, the one platform.
Absolutely. The other piece too, and it just, I wrote an article I'm a contributing writer for Prime Women magazine. And I wrote an article that published last week, I believe, about the question was, should you go back to college and get a degree after age 50? Well, my take on it was a little bit different than what most people would think, because I'm a woman with 6 degrees, and I don't believe that everybody should go to college. And I believe that we have to do a better job of making a sound, educated decision about that thing in our lives. But I was talking about how there's so many means for education now. When you, and not just for our kids, but for us as well, especially for business owners. Like you've got YouTube, and you've got Udemy and Coursera, and a lot of these colleges and universities right now are offering free courses. We're hiring in one of my other businesses, I'm hiring a project manager. And so the lady that I'm hiring doesn't have the certification. I found a free project management certification just because of right now it's the pandemic, and the Project Management Institute is giving it away for free.
Exactly.
Yeah. So education closes the gap, not just for our kids. It closes the gap. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, and that's the thing people will say to me, do you think my child should go to college, or they want to be an entrepreneur or whatever? I said they need to get the skills. They need to identify what they want to do. I didn't have a choice as an educator. To be a principal, obviously I had to have a certain degree and master's to do that. if I didn't have to do that, I don't know that I would have.
Yeah.
And so it depends on what the end goal is, to y'all's point.
Mm-hmm.
And there are so many resources out there now. And what a gift for students, for adults, for everybody and like for right now, if you're in a plumber, an electrician, a welder, oh my gosh, you can make some money and have a lifelong skill.
Right.
That yes, automation might change it, but you've got a lot of years where you can make some good resource. Same with cosmetology. I joke, what was the first thing we all did when we got out of COVID? We went and got our hair cut.
That's right.
I mean, really, that is an essential worker. I'm sorry.
Right. I agree. But for all those professions that you just mentioned, it's still important for them to take entrepreneurial classes, and they can do that. They can get a coach or they can take classes online. And even for those seasoned professionals like attorneys and doctors,
Yes.
and they've been taught their profession.
Right.
Sometimes they did not sit in enough business classes.
But there's all the resources today to get those. They don't have to do it just the traditional way.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone who's been successful, to your point, Reg, they have a coach. I mean, Tiger Woods has a coach. I mean, look how much money Tiger makes. Everybody who's been successful has a coach to some degree. So yes, you're right. There's so many options for people nowadays. And I think that I applaud younger people. I think they're seeing that. And again, I know we're talking about the whole scope, but especially younger people, I think they're really identifying what do I want to do and what skills do I have to do that job.
Yeah.
And then they can go after it. Yeah.
So Debbie, what do you want to ultimately accomplish with WLL? What is your heart's desire?
Our heart's desire is that, and again, it's never going to be accomplished because we live in such a fluid world, as we all know in these last few months, but we want to always be in a situation to where we're able to provide the resources and the tools to be able to help women, as we said before, to take their products and services to market. So staying active, staying current, staying visible, being very active on digital space. I mean, this is my fourth Zoom today, and Stacy's the same way. We're both just, there's so much that we do because of digital space. So it's to be able to be out there to where women and those enlightened men can find us. And I think today that we identify that with being on digital space and being able to use those resources. So we'll never accomplish the goal 100% because there's always going to be a need. But I think just being able to be present and to be available for those women who are individuals who need us, for sure.
Absolutely. I love it. I'm biased. I'm not.
I was so looking forward to today. I mean, I was on the phone earlier with Stacy and Linda, and Linda's been on TV all day. We're all doing different things. And it was like, I was so excited because Stacy remembers Collette when we were all together and the dancing, just everything. So yeah.
Debbie, just a side note, Linda, I read her name, but I just wasn't for sure if it was the same one. So Linda awarded me with the SBA Graduate of the Year or something like that award maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Think about what a small world it is, y'all.
Right.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it truly is when you think about it. But all of us here, we accept that that's not an accident, that that's meant to be.
Well, to the point I was going to make, Debbie, who just keeps stealing all the ideas out of my head.
We're on the same plane, girls.
Well, I was going to say, greatness attracts greatness. And it doesn't matter if you connect today, it doesn't matter if you connect today and stay connected, and you're talking every day, or if you connect today and then you come up at some other time and you come up at some other time. But what I have found in my life is that my thoughts generate everything that's gonna happen in my life. If I ask for strength, I'm gonna get opportunities to become stronger, to exercise and improve my strength. If I'm thinking thoughts about who I want to, I tell my story all the time, and I'm so excited because he's going to be a guest on our show. But I love Dr. Dennis Kimbro. And Debbie, if you don't know who that is, you got to go find his book. He finished Napoleon Hill's last book, Think and Grow Rich, A Black Child. Was his last manuscript, and he passed away before he could finish it. So Dennis Kimbro was charged with finishing it. And I had been reading that book for just a friend of mine said, Collette, you really need to read this book. I have been listening to that book on audio for 3 months. I never thought about meeting Dennis Kimbrough. I didn't really, I was never like, I just have to meet this guy. I none of that. And I get a call on a Friday that says, are you going to see Dennis Kimbrough? I'm like, what? What do you mean? Nobody told me. I canceled everything on my calendar to go meet him. Now, it wasn't just that I went to see him speak.
Right.
I had an opportunity to spend hours just having an exchange with just he and I, because other people in the room didn't really know who he was. But I attribute it to my intention to really grasp and understand what he was talking about. And now I read that book once a year, at least.
I'll have to look into it. That's all. I'll have to check it out for sure.
It is a great one. The name of the book is Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice.
Okay, I was going to say, because the first Think and Grow Rich, I've got it on my bookshelf.
I know.
So Think and Grow Rich,
a Black Choice.
Black Choice, okay.
Yeah, so the story is, before Napoleon Hill passed away, he was doing the same thing he did with Think and Grow Rich. He was doing it with African-American millionaires. And he just didn't get to finish doing the work. Well, Dr. Kimbrough was working on his dissertation, as I remember the story, and he was interviewing Black millionaires and billionaires. At that point, there were Black billionaires. And so Napoleon Hill's family called for him and asked him to finish the work. And
that is so cool.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing, Collette and Reggie, I think we're all on the same plane. When you set your intentions and you're in a mindset of abundance, and you're not, because what you're wanting to get with the introduction to him, with him being on y'all's show, you want to share his knowledge, you want to share his story. So it's not for us personally. It's like when Stacy and I meet someone, we want to do the same thing y'all are talking about. It's because we know that those people can bring value. Right. I mean, they can bring value to your community.
Yeah. Right. Well, and that's not even to say that everybody doesn't have value. I'm a believer that everybody has greatness, but connecting with those people who have discovered what their greatness is and is willing to offer it to the world.
Exactly.
Well, and I think that's what happens with this, with meeting you guys and coming to women, because that Women's Leadership Live, Judy sent me a message, I think maybe the day or two before.
Yes.
Come to this with me. And I was like, okay.
And wasn't it pouring down rain?
It was pouring down rain.
But it was a gully wash. It was so bad, the rain.
It was crazy, but it was one of the most wonderful experiences.
Well, but I think also to add, it's not just enough for them to be in the room. It wasn't enough for her to just come to the conference or you to be at the event with Dennis Kimbrough. You two purpose, and I think that's what you got from going to the 30 schools. You purpose to really get to know and understand and take the time to have a one-on-one, not just network. A lot of people talk about network, but really have a conversation with somebody to see what they have to offer, who they are, what they have to offer, and then what value you bring as well. So that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, and that's the thing that I think that sometimes we forget. We really want to know people. We want to know what we have in common. We want to know our interests, our hobbies, our values, our family, our loved ones. That's what brings us together. The other part of what we do for a living, quote unquote, that's the kind of the cherry on the cake. You're only interested in that once you know you like the person. Once you know you relate to the person.
Yeah. Well, and once we find out why this person, like, what's this person's real intention with what they say they do.
Right.
I have a little desire to work with or collaborate with anybody whose intention is just to make money. Like, you gotta, and when people talk about know your why, like, I believe that your why is not, I do this for my kids. No, your why is because I want to impact the world in this way. that's a real why, you know, because at some point those kids gonna get on your nerves. So can you stop then?
Especially right now. Well, it's interesting you say that, because I always tell this, well, I say it all the time. God put each of us on this earth for a reason.
Yes.
Sometimes we find out the reason sooner than later, but at different steps in our life, but we're here for a reason. None of us want to leave this earth without having accomplished what we were sent here to do. Right. And to y'all's point, you only get that when you're willing to have conversations and you're willing to meet people, because sometimes the person you're supposed to meet may be the quiet one who's not talking, who needs to be brought into the fold. So yeah, I think we're definitely all on the same page. That's why I was so excited to come talk to you all night. Seriously, I was so pumped.
Yes, well, we love Debbie anyway. So we always have fun. We were promising everybody that this was going to be great, because I just shared before I came on. I said, come join the red light party, because I knew we were going to have a good time. It was going to be fun.
Right.
Yes.
True.
So Debbie, well then tell us why you decided to connect with Red.
I'm sorry, it cut off. Why?
Why you decided to connect with Red?
Why
you decided to party with Red? Why you decided to?
You said web, and I'm like, web. Okay. Well, okay. It's all about those connections. So obviously at SMU, met y'all and everything, but then Judy, when she had her panel of exceptional women, all of us come together. It's all that circle of love, if you will. And that sounds so corny, but I really do believe that. When you meet women and I can still remember you, Collette, at your desk with the red behind you, and I was drawn to your energy, and I'm like, oh my God, this girl's too much fun. And you were the first one that I technically connected with, because I was so drawn to your energy. Because that's the thing with digital space, you can feel that. I mean, we can feel the energy from all of us connecting and talking. So I think it's knowing that someone is sincere. To your point, it's obvious that both of you are sincere about wanting to be there for others and to be of service, to help each other. So why would I not want to? My gosh. Of course.
So are you like me in that I am loving? Because, you know, people used to say you couldn't use Zoom. Well, I need to meet person to person because you can't get a sense of people. But I'm loving the fact that we have discovered that you really can't. I don't care what medium I meet you on. We're going to have a good time. It could be over the phone. It could be by Zoom.
Right.
It doesn't matter to me.
But I always make the joke, beam me up, Scotty, because truly we just want to be connected. And, 20 years ago, we didn't have the ability to do this. But now that we do, it was phone calls, and you can connect on a phone call. You can feel someone's energy through that. You can feel their space between you, that was a draw. Now we have technology that we can do the videos and we can see each other, and I'm sure that in the next 3 years we'll be able to touch each other and feel the hug. I have no doubt that that'll be possible.
Right. We just don't know. But I think the important thing is, two important things that we've really talked about tonight is, number one, know what you want and execute. You got to have a plan in order to go get it. Like, I feel like in my life, and I've always felt this, I was telling a friend the other day that when I was little and people would ask me what I wanted to be when I grow up, I would say, I'm going to be a teacher and the president and a CEO. I was going to be all.
And you've accomplished that. All
right. I'm thinking,
Well, that whole president, I was talking about the president of the U.S.
I know you're talking about that, but just
right. I'm thinking, probably not. Let me be real.
But if you think about what an impact y'all are making with what you do, sometimes we say president, we might not have been specific. God might know exactly what president you were going to be, right?
You know what?
What you do.
I agree. She's already all three. I thought the same thing.
Well, okay. Well, then I did.
Reggie, what did you want to be growing up? Reggie, what did you want to be?
When I was growing up or now? No,
when you were growing up, what did you want to be?
When I was growing up, I don't know if I knew exactly what I wanted to be, but I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur because I'm a fourth generation entrepreneur. So I
saw that in all your stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was, but I knew that was going to be the case. So every job I worked, I never went in with, pictures, and you could, my little office I could walk away in one little box and I was fine. And I've been that entrepreneur from 10 years after I graduated from college the first time. I've been an entrepreneur ever since. So that's what I wanted to be, an entrepreneur. I never went through the doctor, lawyer. I never went through that.
Right. I know I wanted to be a teacher because I had teachers who made an impact in my life, and I wanted to be able to help kids because I feel like that. So same thing for sure.
Yeah.
But as soon as I left education, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew that as well as I was sitting there. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You will be surprised to know that I still have a relationship with my 6th grade teacher.
That is so awesome.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. That must be a real treat. Is it a woman, a man?
Man.
Man, that is that has to be such a feel good to them to know they made that kind of an impact on you and you're able to share that.
Yeah.
Because of technology and social media, I'm connected to a lot of students. I had a lot of students, and mainly it was when I was at the high school level. But I have a lot of students I'm connected to.
Well, and that's just not technology. That's because what you poured into them.
Yeah.
You can be available and they not reach out.
Oh, that's sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's sweet. That's sweet.
My son's girlfriend is a first-year teacher this year.
What grade?
6th grade. 6th grade.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I reached out to her once she got the position to say congratulations, and then I charged her with something.
That's good.
Of course. Figure out what 3 things you will leave these kids with. And from now until the end of your career, you are working to make that impact in every kid's life that you touch.
That is such a gift. I saw that your son, Thomas, right?
Yes.
Thomas is an attorney, just did all his things. So congratulations to him. Our
Well,
oldest daughter is an attorney in New York. So that's awesome.
Well, Thomas graduated from Northwestern Law, but his degree is in entrepreneurial law and venture capitalism. So he actually works for Red Development Group.
I know, I saw that. That's so cool.
Listen, talk about an investment. We're getting our money back.
Well, at least y'all are benefiting from it now, being able to bring you back into the fold.
Right.
And Debbie, oh my God, I cannot tell you how this kid, he's not a kid. He's convinced me finally
He'll always be your kid. He'll always be
right.
that he's a grown man, but he has shown up and he is doing some phenomenal stuff that you guys will hear about coming very soon that is going to directly connect with what Women's Leadership Live is
Oh, I can't wait to hear. We can't wait to hear.
So we'll make sure we connect with you guys.
Absolutely, please, because I think that's really important to be able, as we've said many times during this last hour, is to be able to support and share what other people are doing. But we have to know what they're doing to be able to share, right? So please make sure that we know. Sure.
We will. We'll be sure to have you guys. We'll probably talk about how we can partner together on this. It's awesome. So we will let.
Well, we definitely want to hear.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So we're really excited about it. But we also have 3 interns who are young adults who are. So phenomenal, so amazing. I think I'm going to connect one of them with you, though, for you to potentially be a mentor for her.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting that y'all said that because when I was listening to y'all on Facebook, I think Reggie said something about y'all were talking about the interns and millennials. And I so agree with you because oftentimes millennials get a bad rap, but only because they're so passionate about what they're doing. I say bring them in and let's listen to them. Let's do what they're saying because we're all at different phases in our life. And if someone is younger and has ideas that's going to help everyone, my gosh. I loved your thing about if the chair is not fitting, putting them in another chair. Because again, they bring great gifts to us. So I'd love to, for sure.
Yeah, so I'll make sure I make that connection. She's like you when it comes to social media, but she just gets it. It's like, she just gets it. She gets it. And
I would love to visit with her. I'd love, because it really, there's just so much, and people say, how do you keep up with it? Like, well, I'm learning it every day, right? Because everything changes every day. But I'd love to talk to people who love social media as much as I do in digital space.
Yeah, she gets it. She's amazing.
What is her name? Which one is it?
It's Sarah.
Sarah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you've talked to Jacqueline, though. I think Jacqueline mentioned she called you.
Oh, Jacqueline. Oh,
Yeah.
listen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
our other
was the one.
Jacqueline, she was too excited when we said Debbie's coming on the show.
Yeah.
Well, she I remember that's why I didn't know if it was her or not, but yeah, you're very fortunate to have such passionate interns who want to learn and who want to be part of the team and want to grow. That's a huge gift. Huge.
But you know why, Debbie?
Yeah, I was just getting ready.
Go ahead.
Well, I was getting ready to say it was because we set the culture, we set the tone.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
We planned because we have a plan and a strategy. We knew who we needed. And so when we interviewed them, we knew that they were who we needed. And so we got, I mean, I don't know if we could have gotten anybody better than what we got.
But then also when I say we set the tone and the culture, we realized that we couldn't be the normal, typical, standard business with 8 to 5. I mean, we knew we had to do something different. So they have a, you know, just like you have flex time with the company, they have a flex schedule. I mean, the main thing is that they get the work done.
That's all you care about is just get the job done.
We have certain things that they have to attend, but other than that, once we give you the assignment and the deadline,
that is it.
And I bet 150% they deliver on the timeline.
They not only deliver, but they're like, okay, we need more stuff. And we've even been fortunate enough to be able to give them lead positions on big projects.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so it's been amazing. It really has been.
You guys have done some great things. Like I said, what was it, like 2 months ago? I know March, but I mean with Judy with the panel.
Maybe two.
Yeah,
maybe 2
yeah,
months ago.
maybe no, it hasn't been
long.
No, so the last one was just over a month ago. The last one would have been last Friday.
Yeah.
Where we had everybody together. Okay, yeah. Well, think about that, y'all. To be able in such a short time to be able to come together and know each other and to be able to have those memories of a rainy day to today. I mean, that's just such a gift. I mean, it truly is such a gift.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lord. Yeah.
It's about.
If she was here, she'd say, "Thank you, sweet baby Jesus." So
I know.
That's what she says.
I know.
Yes, I love the sweet baby Jesus too. So we have something in common, you know.
Well, I think
I think you have a little bit more of that in common. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, Debbie, this has been so awesome. We love you. We can't wait to have you back.
The feeling is mutual, my friend. The feeling is mutual. Thank you so much.
Yes. So listen, everybody. Remember to keep watch on our social media platforms for some great information that's coming up that will really help business owners. You can connect with us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and our blog. Yeah.
So they're revamping the blog.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Interns are helping with that, right?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll share this so I can share it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, good. Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, our interns were like, y'all need to do that.
Yeah.
So,
that's it. There's so many things that can be done today that we couldn't do 20 years ago or 10 years ago. And really, I mean, I'll say 5, but that's not really so. But still, there's the opportunities continue and the possibilities every day of what we can do. Absolutely.
Absolutely. So this has been great. Thank you for coming to hang out with us again.
Collette and Reggi, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much. And seriously, Stacy sends hugs, and if she wasn't on a different one, like I said, that's the only challenge because there's so much going on. But thank you for having me and for us being able to hang out. Thank you.
We're gonna get Stacy on here one day because I think
would love it.
Stacy with the whole product and all that kind of stuff. Those are conversations that we're having.
Right. Yeah. And then tell Linda to pace herself because I'm sure she's overextended with the work that she's doing.
She is, because she started, I think, at 9 this morning, and she's on Bloomberg tonight at 9 something our time. So she's been on all day. So yeah.
Take a nap.
Yeah, I'm sure. I sometimes wish I could keep up with her. We make jokes about it because yeah, she can really can have it move for sure. So, but seriously, Reggie and Collette, thank you so very much, so much, and thank you for all that y'all do for women each and every day.
Thank you, and thank you for championing us and being a partner in caring for women.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you, Debbie. This has been Red Light with Collette Portis
and Reggie Stearns Camp.
And this has been another successful show. And we will see you next week at 6 p.m. right here live. Bye. Thank you for joining us. We are so excited that you decided to take some of your time and spend it with us. You know, people say that time is money, but we don't believe that because there's no amount of money that you can spend to get your time back. Time is invaluable. And so we appreciate the fact that you took some of your time and spent it with us. That means a lot. And we hope that it was time well spent. Listen, we are on purpose about disrupting the status quo, helping you to become a sound, solid, sustainable business owner, helping you to build and grow your legacy, and bringing together the resources, the tips, the tools, the tricks, all of that stuff that will help you do that. And so we hope today that you got some of that. But the work is just beginning. There's 3 stages to this. You have to evaluate, you have to plan, and you must execute. So do yourself a favor. Do us a favor. Go to reddevelopmentgroup.com or redwomen.win and do your business diagnosis. There's a link right on, there's a pop-up that will come up so you can do your red business diagnostic that is going to help you determine right where you are in business. Because the only way to get to where you're going is to first know where you are and where you're starting. So evaluate your business. And then next, go to Amazon, go to ColettePortis.com, get your goalie bundle. This is how you're going to write your plan. Not just any old plan, an effective plan that tells you and your team and those who work with you what needs to be done in your business every day in order to execute the business of your business. We want you to show up and be great. We want your greatness to show up in your business. We believe that you are great and nobody else can do what you do to the level that you can do it in. But you first have to evaluate where you are, create a plan, and then execute the plan. And then don't forget to follow us. Come back next time. Follow us on LinkedIn. Follow us on Instagram. Connect with us on Facebook. Find us on YouTube. Wherever you can find us, connect with us. We have a blog where we're pushing out great information, not just from us, but all of the experts that are in our network are there to feed you the things that will cause your greatness to explode out of you. So show up, be great, be the best at what you're the best at, and connect with Red so we can keep feeding you the tools, tips, and tricks and resources that will help you do that. Until next time, we will see you on the other side. Have a great day.